What is going on, everybody? It is me again. It's HorrorFan34, and welcome to the start of my 31 Days of Horror challenge in October. Like I said before in the last video when I did the announcement on this, I figured I would keep the list for you guys a secret and surprise you guys what reviews I'll be doing. So by the title of this video, you can already tell what the first horror film I'll be reviewing for the month of October. And why not start the month of October with a very fun creature feature film, definitely one of my favorites of that genre, Q, the Winged Serpent. Its name is Quetzalcoatl. Just call it Q. That's all you have time to say before it tears you apart. Q, the Winged Serpent. This is a very fun, entertaining creature feature flick that I've always loved. I'd probably say it's definitely one of my personal favorite creature feature films of all time. I mean, Jaws is up there, and things like that. Tremors is up there for me as well. This is definitely one of my personal favorites, and one of the more underrated creature feature films. Written, produced, and directed by the late great Larry Cohen. May rest in peace, Larry Cohen. Larry Cohen as a director and even as a writer or producer, this guy always came up with a lot of original ideas for movies. He did The Stuff, which is a great movie. The Ambulance with Eric Roberts and James Earl Jones. And even his hand in writing and stuff. He helped write Phone Booth and Cellular with Chris Evans. Things like that. Larry Cohen always, whenever his name was on something, it was always something really special. I'd probably say this is my favorite Larry Cohen film that he's directed, because I really love The Stuff, but I say I like this one a little bit more, but The Stuff is still a very close second for me. I mean, either one could be number one. But this is just a really fun, entertaining creature movie. And it's a very original idea as well, where this like Aztec god dragon creature, like a dragon-like Aztec god named Quetzalcoatl, also known as Q, is flying around New York City, and it lives on top of the Chrysler Building in New York. And the basic idea with the film is that you have this Aztec dragon-like creature named Q, Quetzalcoatl, who's flying around New York City and taking people and killing people and taking them off and taking them to the nest, which is on top of the Chrysler Building, which I thought was pretty cool. You have David Carradine and Richard Roundtree Shaft himself as two cops looking into the whole thing. Michael Moriarty, who worked with Larry Cohen on a lot of stuff, including The Stuff, is a thief who basically, he's a thief who finds the nest of the creature and things like that. You also have Candy Clark, who was in the Blob remake, Blue Thunder with Roy Scheider. She's in this as well. And also Larry Cohen also had his hand in doing the It's Alive films, the Maniac Cop movies. So Larry Cohen definitely had his name on a lot of good stuff. And I say it's my favorite of the Larry Cohen directed films because it's one of those creature features that doesn't get talked about a whole lot, and I think it has a really fun sense of humor as well. Michael Moriarty, it's really fun to see him before he did The Stuff, was in this movie with Larry Cohen. Michael Moriarty's a really solid actor. It's always really cool to see David Carradine, may he rest in peace. Richard Roundtree, Shaft himself, as one of the other cops. Of course, David Carradine went on to be in Kill Bill, as the villain in Kill Bill. And what I love, I really wish David Carradine never really got to do a whole lot of roles where he kind of had a sense of humor. Like a lot of the characters that David Carradine played in his career was more serious guys, more dramatic, serious roles. While this one, though, he has a little bit more of a sense of humor, and I think it's thanks to Larry Cohen's writing, because Larry Cohen always injects a lot of quirky dialogue and quirky humor into his movies. Like there's literally a point where him and Richard Roundtree find a guy's head decapitated because the the Quetzalcoatl bit the head off of it. And David Carradine's like, this, and Richard Roundtree says something, and then David Carradine's like, shit, like maybe his head just came loose and fell off. So David Carradine has a little bit of a quirky sense of humor to him, which I like. And I'll tell you what too, and this was back in 1982. This creature feature came out. Pretty good body count. I mean, in the very beginning, you have this window washer who gets his head bitten off, and it's really good special effects. I really like the design of the Quetzalcoatl Q. I really like it's practical. It's stop animation and things like that, and I really miss like those kind of creature features where it's kind of stop animation type effects. I really do miss that kind of stuff. Very well shot by Larry Cohen. I like the way he shot the skylines of New York. You even get to see the Twin Towers before 9/11 happened. So, like I said, really beautiful shots of New York City, and I really like the way Larry Cohen did the skyline views of New York. Very beautiful looking shots. You also have a sunbather who gets nude, and Quetzalcoatl Q carries her away. Richard Roundtree is a guy who gets carried away and killed, and things like that. So it's a pretty good body count, really pretty good special effects. Like especially you have that one part where they put the knife in like some guy and taking parts of the skin out because they find a person who's been badly like really skinned by the creature, and it kind of makes you cringe a little bit. But like really good special effects. I don't know who did the special effects, but whoever did the special effects is pretty good. I think they still hold up to this day, even back in 1982. And the one thing I really wish this film had was more features. I mean, you do get a commentary on here with Larry Cohen, which was on the Blue Underground DVD. But, sadly you couldn't get no interview with Larry Cohen. Of course, he's no longer with us anymore. I mean, David Carradine no longer with us. It's really a shame like Candy Clark couldn't get an interview, because she did an interview for The Blob, so I'm sure she would have been willing to do an interview for this. So like Scream Factory didn't really add anything new to the Blu-ray, but I'm really cool with this Blu-ray because I never owned the film on DVD or Blu-ray and things like that. But if you want a really fun, entertaining creature feature film that's very original, I mean, think about it. It's a creature feature film that takes place with this Aztec dragon-like god who has a nest on top of the Chrysler Building in New York. I mean, it's an original concept, and you have really fun, quirky dialogue, especially by David Carradine. I think Richard Roundtree does a really good job as his partner. Candy Clark, always great to see her from other films as well. Michael Moriarty is a lot of fun. And once again, very well directed by Larry Cohen. And, Larry Cohen always, like I said before, came up with a lot of original ideas. And I think this is one that's very original. Very different creature feature film than a lot of stuff nowadays. But if you want to see a really fun, entertaining creature feature film and things like that, I would highly recommend you check out Q the Winged Serpent. It's fun, it's entertaining, it's original, solid cast. Also really like the musical score. I love the special effects, like I said before, especially on the creature itself, like a lot of stop animation, no CGI, things like that. Very practical effects with gore. You did really get a really good body count and things like that. I mean, it's a really fun movie. It's a really fun, entertaining creature feature movie. So anyways, that is pretty much it for my review for the first review for the month of October for Q the Winged Serpent. So I hope you guys enjoyed this review, and stay tuned for the next series of reviews coming up soon for the rest of the days of October. So thank you very much for watching, and I will see you guys next time.